water, and all we are the work of your hands. So if you jump quickly to the famous Psalm that we all read, Psalm 139, I will just read 2 verses. For you are formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. So why am I using these scriptures? It has pleased God to create human being in his image. He has given us a developing brain, a brain that performs, a brain that does so much, but differently. And when we look at the way people try to, oh, how come A is able to do this? How come B is not able to do that? Two children, even twins, they work differently. They see things differently. So when you see an undiagnosed person with a normal brain, we call them neurotypical. So for all of us on this platform, I'm believing we will be called neurotypical, even though we haven't been diagnosed. But when we look at what is normal brain, for me, that is a big debate, which I'm believing our Reverend will bring back. What is normal brain? But for today, we are looking at the people with that unique brain, that they function differently. I enjoy working with them, especially the people with Asperger's. They are these serious high functioning people. So of importance, I want all of us here, I know we have professionals, we have parents, we have colleagues, people in the community, people we meet on the bus, on the supermarket. Sometimes we look at them, why is this person behaving like that? Or why, but you are not asking, why am I behaving this way to this person? Is it because they are not in that box that we normally put people? But neurodivergent, they have intelligence that functions differently to an average person. They have unique strength. Some of them have the ability to complete interesting mathematical calculation that you and I cannot even begin to understand. That is neurodivergent, because the way they function, the way their brain is wired is different from you and I. And just quickly, it's worth mentioning, what is autistic spectrum? Because when you look at neurodivergent, they are on the autistic spectrum. So autism is a condition related to brain growth as well, that impacts on how they perceive things, how they socialize, how their social engagement, how they connect things, how they see environment is kind of different from the way you and I may think, why is this person like this? So as we go into this session, I want to remind us, neurodivergent people, that we can classify them as a social preference, the way we see people saying, oh, I'm a Christian, oh, you're a Muslim, oh, gender this, gender that. So we've put people on the autistic spectrum to be neurodivergent rather than looking at their weaknesses. What we need to look at, how do we know that this person has a different brain to you and me? How do they communicate? Sometimes, some of them is their eyes that they will use to communicate. Sometimes they will need to write things down. You need to understand how to support them, how to work with them, especially if you are a parent and you have a child, a normal child, how we call them, but they have a different brain to the way the parent may be perceiving them. Different way of learning, different way of perceiving. They have unique strengths and abilities. They have their unique individual with capabilities. However, they have their weaknesses. But what I want to bring out is, don't look at the weakness. What are the strengths? When I did my research, the family, they actually wanted her to dispose of the children because they cannot take them out. Some of them were crying out, they don't even have the money to get specialist treatment. What about when you give birth to a child that you cannot even diagnose them? I know of a brother, 61 this year, is only identifying that he's able to see himself to have a bit of different brain. If things are not arranged in a certain way, it cannot function. He's a degree holder, a master's holder, up till tomorrow. If he comes to your place, you will see him opening the curtains, putting the lights on, doing all sorts of that. Oh, please, I like the way, but for him, if it's not the way he likes it, he cannot even a normal conversation with you. And research is telling us out of every 7, there's one person on the spectrum. So that is telling how many of us, including everyone, has a bit of uniqueness in our brain. But I want to caution us that neurodivergent, they don't have mental health. But sadly, even as a social worker, we had a training, mandatory training. They call it Oliver McGowan training. I'm not sure if any of us have attended it. This young boy has autistic spectrum, is one of the spectrum, not mental health. But each time when he has this episode, they take him to hospital, they start giving him antipsychotic medication. They were able to diagnose that, okay, it's not antipsychotic that he needs. They got it there. He has his, for people that are not, for we Nigerians, we don't have such, but he has a medical passport. That is, wherever he goes, when he shows it, they read it, then they understand the sort of treatment. If I tell you that this guy sadly was killed through wrong treatment, so the parents went out to the IS, so they introduced it as a mandatory training. So we as parents, we as professionals, we as ministers, we as people, God-filled people, spirit-filled, God-filled, we read the word, we speak on the pulpit, we say, yes, Jesus is Lord. When we see people, how do we perceive them? Because what they can do, I cannot do it. What I can do, they may not be able to do it. But we need to look at the positive, their strength. Yeah? And there's this word, because I've only got 10 minutes, they call it STOMP, stopping over medication of people with learning disability, neurodivergent, people that are on the autistic spectrum, people not behaving the way the normal brain. And I want to charge them. Let us be vigilant. Let us ask questions. Let us know our child, not only our child, our spouse, our brothers, our sister. You may just see somebody in the church that is very argumentative, always in your face. Why is he or why is she like that? Maybe they have a special brain. So we need to be patient. You know, the fruit of the Spirit, God did not just give it to us. It's also a way of us managing people.
That's how
to manage. Even our children. You have 2 children. One is really, and one is I know, even a family of mine, when she was young, schooling in Nigeria, the teachers said to the mom, she needs to go and open a shop. She's not academic. If I tell you, she's a medical doctor in the UK now, practicing. So let us have that fruit of the Spirit in us at all times to relate with people, to understand people, to know why God has put them in our midst. Not to be laughed after, not to be, oh my God, to feel sorry for them. No, but to work together, to empathize and work together.
Yeah.
So ask them, GP, ask them, your son, your child, your family is in the hospital, please ask them, why are you giving them this medication? What is the after effect? Read about it, understand it before you say yes to any treatment they offer us. So let us look at strategy, how to manage these people, how the strategies, their language, the sign. I know of a young man, when he finished talking, he has to go do this. Just that means you can now talk to me. So it's a wide topic. I'm share my article if anybody is interested. You can share it for people to just have a taste of what neurodivergence is. So I think more than my time. So
no, it's okay. That was quite inspirational. Thank you so much. Thank you. Knowing that, I just say, can you have a word with us? So yeah, I believe when we're coming next time, so we're going to be looking at the different type of neurodivergence. So today is just for us as a society, because as Mrs. Funke was talking about, her research in Nigeria, the impact. Part of those things is what is being done in the Western world. This month, this week is the celebration of neurodiversity. So most of us that work in that, we get to know. In April, actually, it's going to be awareness of autism. My dissertation was autism in African community. Why? Because when I went back to the uni and I went on my work placement, I started seeing things that breaks my heart. Even at church, how we were treating some children. And that's really changed my understanding. And I now put myself where I have to be the one working with those children. And that started this passion. So I talked to my university that I need to do a program to be able to create awareness. I just believe that this thing I'm seeing, many of us don't understand it. I don't even understand it deeply. That was how I did my first program. And then University of Northampton sponsored it, and we were awarded Changemaker. They were giving Changemaker awards. Why am I saying this? There are things that God will use to challenge you as a person. When the woman of God was speaking, she was talking about us in every aspect, us as parents, us as ministers, us as friends. Sometimes we see those things happening and we judge it without understanding. And many parents and children have gone into isolation. We've ostracized them to a point that the so-called Christ we are sharing does not make a difference to them. So this is why awareness is very, I'm not blaming us, I'm not throwing stones. We are creating awareness because I know when we know better, we do better. When I start having this understanding, I became an advocate. I would have never become an advocate if I hadn't had the knowledge I had, because I didn't know what it was. So why this is what it is, there's something she mentioned about the normal brain. Many of us will consider ourselves normal. We are normal because every one of us, we are made in the likeness and the image of God. But we are all having different functionality. At this time, I was thinking that if I was born and brought up here in Europe, I would have been labeled as well, because I was very peculiar, very, very peculiar as a child. So the things that interest others doesn't interest me. The things that, the way other children behave, I was always behaving differently. You understand? So either they would have thought that, yeah, even back then, they thought maybe I was possessed with some kind of thing. So let me not digress. Now, yes, we are all unique. Thank you. We are all unique in different ways. Now, when we look at the spectrum, is wide from one end to another. And inside that spectrum, we all are innate. That's why we have neurodiversity. Our brain function differently. Our brain function differently. There are things that are easy for you, and I find this super difficult. Like, I can't handle it. One of the reasons I'm able to work with people is trying to understand their strengths so I can complement, because I know my weaknesses. There are things I can't actually do, even if I try. And there are things that as much as I try, it takes a lot out of me. So I've learned not to count myself like I'm nothing because I can't do that. I focus on the area my strength is and try to work with somebody that is strong where I'm weak. This is why we are talking about neurodiversity. We are parents, we are sisters, we are brothers to this set of people. But because of this way they are behaving that does not complement the way we want them to behave, is very stressful. And then there are some to the extreme that actually they will need the support to be able to live in the so-called normal society. They will need extra support. They can't be strong in just one area, but in all other area, it's a big struggle. They will need help. And these are children sometimes to parents. And these parents, they don't know how it happens because it is not their fault. And this is something I will bring to us. If you see any parent struggling with this situation, please, if it's in your heart, pray for them, but don't kabash them casting demon. It is wrong, very wrong. Support them where they need. Don't stay. If there's a way, if it's something that is not your strength, you don't have to force yourself. Just understand. Ask them if they will need help. I have a child that's mildly autistic, but she's Asperger's. She's very intelligent, but she have a very strong social anxiety. It's difficult for her to relate with people. And this has caused a lot of challenges in the midst, even in the midst of believers, how easily it's for us to just cast aside because she was not behaving like every other child. So the way she reacts was different. And at that time, as much as I try to understand that people are acting because they don't have the knowledge, but something also, is it holy anger welled up in me that knowledge is available if we want to know. This is just being non-empathetic. So empathy is not looking down, oh, sorry, oh, no. Empathy is putting yourself in the shoe of that person. That, oh, if I was the one, how would I want to be helped? And that will create a place in our heart that, how can I support you? Instead of being judgmental, oh, you don't have to take care of your children, you should have instruct them. No, it's not okay. Even if you have better ability, it's better to find a way to teach rather than bring down or break people. It is not right because that will not bring inclusivity. And if we don't have an inclusive community, some people are going to fall out. There are a lot of suicide that is going on, especially those that are undiagnosed and now they are young people. They find it's very overwhelming to start an adult life without having the capacity or understanding who you are as a person. So it's very important that we have this knowledge and help them. So if you have a better way, help them to understand themselves better, signpost them. So I'm going to call on my wonderful sister. She works with people that have neurodivergent, the condition, and also that's her job. But she's a wonderful woman that I've known her for some time. And she's a woman of God. She doesn't just do it as a job. For her is a calling. And I'm going to be calling on Sister Pat to give us a word around her experience and how we can be more inclusive as a people. Thank you. Sister Pat.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you. It's a wonderful thing you are doing. And this is my heart desire because a lot of people don't have the understanding. So these children are labeled. They are labeled. But as we are here, we need to understand, because I always say when we don't have understanding, we do the wrong things. The foundation is wrong to start with. because there's no understanding. Thank you, my sister, the social worker who spoke earlier. I work with children with disability, special needs in education, from preschool to age 19. So after that, we pass them on to my sister so that they can help them in the community. So we start the foundation. Yes. The neurodiversity, somebody might ask, what is that word? But to be honest with you, it is the range of differences in individual brain function and behavior traits regarded as part of normal variation in the human population. And, we are just talking about it. I work with a lot of children who have different needs. Their needs are different. We have object of reference, we have PECs, we have sign language, and so forth. But at the end of the day, you know what? Education doesn't end. We continue to educate ourselves to be able to help others. So when it comes to people, my experience is I've been working in this field for nearly 20 years. Children with disability. I started with the autistic children unit, and the school is closed, but we have a mild learning and then a severe. And at the moment, I'm in all range. We have children with behavior and all sorts of things. For me, I see that structure and strategies are not put in place from the beginning. So these children grow up and they find it difficult. But regardless of what we do, every child has the right to education, as we all know here. So neurodivergent individuals often experience difference in mental functioning, learning styles, sensory processing, and communication style and behaviors. They struggled because, to be honest with you, they have issue with social skills. They struggle with all that. So as my sister has said before, and the lady that spoke before, we need to put ourselves in their shoes. Social interaction is very huge. Very, very huge. And you have to see that it's not just that noise. Some of the children noise. Even some of the children, the perfume you wear can trigger all sorts. So we really need to be aware to know each child individual as we work with them. Parents, you know your child better than anybody if there's parents on there, and you have to take particular attention, because if you have to tell the people, the multi-agency working with your child, it's a partnership. We have social worker, we have the child in need, we have some children are in care, you have the foster parent, you have all these people. It's like a web, this child, they have to experience so many people in their lives. But we really need to calm down to understand them. At the moment, I do respite at home with a child. And for me, I've been looking after this child for 8 years. When I started with this child, everybody, even now, people say, oh, this child is difficult. It's not difficult because people don't understand him. We need to understand each child as a person. They have needs. They have needs. This child didn't walk. Now he's walking. He walks everywhere. Because the more words, you see, language, words, Bible says there's life and death in the power of the tongue. Those who love it will eat the fruit thereof. If you say to your child, my child is a trouble, it becomes trouble. What do you want to see in your child? You speak those words. These are the words you have to speak. And you see the child thrive. It's just they're special. They are different. Some of them, you need, simple and clear language for them. Not long conversation, just short words that they can understand what you are talking about. There's so many words we say is too much. Yes, your child, learn your child. If they don't like noisy place, don't take them there. They can't, go to supermarket, don't take them there. There are other things they like. As the other social worker said, find their strength and build on. Because every person, how do we include? We say we want inclusive, we practice inclusive. To practice inclusive, we have to ensure that each child can flourish in our care, regardless of their capacity and daily struggles. Some of them even, there's PMLD, very, and severe learning disability and mild learning disability. Some are physical. And all they can do is sensory, you can deal with them. All they can do is flick their fingers, they are communicating with you. Blink, they are communicating with you. You need to know each child in your care. And as a parent, I always encourage you. I work with parents a lot because I used to work with social services, but now I work with parents because parents can tell me their child needs. And we work together to bring that child up because every child matters. Every child matters. Don't use that negative language for your children. It doesn't help. If you need help as a parent on this platform now, ask for help. There's so many help. You might be coming, I don't know, some people are coming from Nigeria, Africa, whichever country you come, you don't get the help. But there are people who would like to talk to you. And then you ask questions. Because some of the things, if you don't understand it, I said earlier on, you are going to put the wrong foundation to start with. Understanding. He said, in all you're getting, get understanding. So I'm encouraging parents on this platform. Please ask questions. Seek help. Seek help. You are not alone. There are a lot of people out there who are willing to help you. And as we are continuing with this topic, we'll come next week to talk about the various types of this neurodiversity. There's different types. They've got ASD, HGSD, ADD, all sorts of things. And we are going to learn together because we want to be better. We want to better ourselves. We want to have the knowledge so that we can pass it on to others. No child is a problem. No child is a problem.
Hashtag.
No child is a problem.
Amen.
Every child is unique in their own ways. And if you see my boy now, you won't believe it. Because he's thriving. He understands everything. The only thing is his words hasn't come. But my prayer is one day he will surprise all of us. He will start talking. He was crawling 8 years ago. Today he's walking. So no child is a problem. Every child is unique. So let's continue to learn to shame the devil. Our children are unique and they will thrive in their own special way. Thank you very much and God bless you. Amen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Somebody put it there. No child is a problem. Hashtag, no child is a problem. Every child is unique. Thank you so much, Sister Pat. That was powerful. And thank you for the great work you're doing. It's not an easy field to work in, but to be honest, it's very fulfilling. What you've done for that child now is is what Jesus would have done. There is no one that comes to Jesus and live the same. So you'll be able to give that time, that love, everything that that child needs to be able to blossom, which our Lord has done for us, have transformed us from when we were dead in sin and has now made us to become, his own ambassadors. And this has taken him patience, and we are still growing in him. We have not arrived yet, and he has not threw us out. But we, for a little that we come across, will become judgmental. Now, as our professional have spoken, I will be. I'm talking to you as a professional, as a parent, and as a community champion. Now, the thing is, being inclusive is very, very easy. If you want to like me, remove your eyes from the things you don't like. Find my strengths. Before you know it, you can't do without me. But if you're going to focus on the things I'm not doing right, I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed, because you're going to find it the way I talk it will annoy you. The way I move will annoy you. The way I carry myself will annoy you. This is how it is. This is how we work with others. Because we don't take the time. We are focusing on what's not right. And also, I want to address us as a person. Sometimes we are also very difficult. If we look at ourselves, some people, they have the way they do things, and God forbid somebody do it differently, it will just triggers them. But at the end of the day, we think that other people are the problem. So to be able to be inclusive, we have to focus on, as the professionals have said, the unique and unusual strengths of the people that are around us. If there are parents with neurodivergent child, maybe there's been, some are diagnosed, some have not been diagnosed. But the only way is to be empathetic. Don't feel sorry for them. Don't be sympathetic. Oh my God, slow. No, that's kills spirit. I'm telling you, as a parent to a neurodivergent child, it kills the spirit. I don't need your sympathy. But if you are empathetic, I remember one day we had this huge crisis in the mall, shopping mall. I came back from work, I was exhausted. We went to the shopping mall, so she was moving from one place to another. It's okay, I'm going to sit down. No, she wants me to just be beside her. I said, I'm tired, I'm going to sit down. And that triggers. And really, it was really a strong one. But I remember a lady, I still have her number. She just came and stood by me. She didn't say what is going on. She just stood by me. We were there. Because it's my area, I don't get worked up. I just allow it to play out. And I know that the more I allow it to play out, it's going to take lesser. The meltdown is going to take lesser time than me trying to stop it. Then, but all she does is just be by me and I was almost getting to that point of being emotional, but I just take a deep breath, but she just stood by me. While everyone else were staring, she just stood by me. So we stood there. Whatever would have taken or created a big mountain, it became a molehill. We were able to calm down, and then we were able to talk now, and then we were able to go back home. But imagine if she has come to me that, what kind of woman are you? Can't you train this child? Can't maybe she was not just, maybe that would have even provoked me to react. Some parents who doesn't have the capacity or the patience, they start slapping their children. And that, if you are living in a place like UK, will just send you into social services situation. Why? Because somebody come judging you at a time you need understanding and support. Keep your prejudice to yourself. Keep it. If it has worked out well, perfect with you, praise God. But when you see people having their children having meltdown, or they are in a maybe having challenges coping in school, if you don't have something better to say, just keep quiet. It's better than being judgmental. But if you have experience, please share. If probably all you can do, one of the things I do is just call a parent and have a coffee with them. It's a huge relief. Somebody that's, because this is what I needed people to do for me, I went out of my way to be friends, parents going through that. So some of my afternoons, I just invite them out. Say, let's go for a coffee. They don't have to tell me. I just want to be there for them because I know how heavy it is. And mine is mild, mind you, because I've worked with many that are really severe. So let us be empathetic and compassionate. And also, another thing I would encourage us as a community and as parents, focus on the unique strengths of your children. Some of them, they are good doing art. Some of them, they are good solving what a professor cannot solve. The mathematics or physics. It's nothing. It is nothing to them. The way God creates that brain, the way God do it, that they have never learned it, but they know how to do it. Focus on those little things. If they cannot do everything, but please look out for what they can do and invest in it, so that they can be able to build up their own confidence. There is a child that I work with. I've been with them for over 2 years now. And one of the things I'm working now is because he loves animals a lot. I've gone out of my way to bring out wonderful people that have some condition like him, and now they are great veterinary doctors. And when I brought out the amount the veterinary doctor is earning, the spark came out of that child. And he is doing everything. He's better at school now. He's really looking forward to go into veterinary. Why? Because somebody believed in him that he can do it. Let's try to believe in our children. If you're a sister, a neighbor, please go out of your way. All our brains are not working the same. I thank God for the mother he gave to me. Maybe I would have been pushed aside, but she was very protective of me. Like I said, as a child, I was quite different. The things that interest others never interest me. But the things that interest me was much more out of line to what people would have think. But my mom covers me up until I was able to understand myself. So before, to talk was a challenge for me, but thank God today, I'm already, I speak to different platforms, but my voice would have been muzzled if someone has not shielded me from the harsh tongue of people around. So let us try to focus on how to be more inclusive. How can we support people? Ask them if they need anything specific. What do you want me to do? How do you want me to come in? If you have any special skills, tell them I'm praying for you. If just being a friend, especially in diaspora, is difficult because the family is a unit. So we will need us to go out of our way. Like personally, I wouldn't want to burden you with my situation. But if you go out of your way and extend a helping hand, please, we need to mute. Okay. If we go out of our way if you go out of your way to give me a helping hand, I will be very, very, very.
When you need to mute, that means you are not muted.
Let me mute the person speaking so that. Okay. So please let us be empathetic and compassionate. These children, we have seen a lot that God has put something special inside of them. And if we are able to nurture and water them, they become great people. Most of the inventors today are people that could not communicate or socialize very well. I was on the phone last week with a family friend whose son was having challenges. But one thing I heard from the teacher was like, no, he doesn't want to. So that's pushed me back. Like it was a force. He was not ready to explore other ways that probably there's something that's making this child not concentrating. He just thought that this child does not want to apply himself. And that was it. He was already planning for this child to be put into maybe how to learn mechanic or whatever. And our social worker spoke about a child that they said she was not good enough to study. And today, she's a medical doctor. We don't have the final words over anyone's life. We are not their creator. All we can do is find how to support. If we know, signpost them. It's very important. Help support parents. It's a very challenging situation. Having children generally is challenging. Now, having a child that have an additional need is double challenging. Let us be compassionate. Let us be inclusive. I know that inviting them to your house might give you an extra work, but let's go the extra mile. Because if we exclude them because of their condition, who is going to include them? And the thing is about these children, they feel every of your rejection. They feel it, and they don't want to. The more they grow, the more they start understanding their differences, the more they isolate. So you have to go out of your way and be kind, be compassionate, and be empathetic. And I hope as we continue to celebrate this, we all will be more aware, be more open ourselves more to see our surrounding. Let's not just judge. Let's learn to hear with the ears of our spirit what is going on and to see beyond what is physical so that we can be able to extend the right help to build a community that is strong, that's compassionate, that's understanding, so that all our children, also, if you have children, builds them to have compassionate way of dealing with other children that are not like them. Something broke my heart a month ago when we were doing a program. There's a secondary school here in Milton Keynes that they have dubbed children that neurodivergent, maybe that have EHCP, they call them D, and that is called dumb. And then they're allowing this thing to prevail in school. So I'm already collecting signatures to go against that school, because what's going on in that, I was supporting a child that was going to have a diagnosis. He is rejecting it because he was once laughing at others. So he was now being afraid to be laughed at. And if he doesn't have the support that he needs, he can't even go to school because he's struggling. And if they don't label you, they don't support you. So these are challenges that are out there. And some children get to the point they just kill themselves because they can't. It's overwhelming. So as we pray, let us put some actions into it so that we have an understanding community. Thank you for coming. And I know it's a short time, but I also understand that we have gained something. If you have any question, what time do we have now? It's exactly 8 o'clock. We can have 5 minutes of grace if you have any question. But most of you have my number, you have my contacts. Contact me. And if you're a parent, you're struggling, and you really don't want, because of the stigma, talk to me. I'm not just a professional, I'm a parent to a neurodivergent child. And by the grace of God, we're moving ahead. The Lord is helping us. We are connecting with the right people. Also, I had this organization, SSOSS, was bettered out of the passion to reach out to this ostracized community. So reach out to us. We hold our hands together. I don't have the whole answer. Don't get me wrong. That's why I'm connecting with professionals, people that have other ways, and I can signpost you to therapists or to social, even in the social services, there are help. There are help. So, but if you don't speak, if you don't talk about it, if you're just on your own, it's going to be too heavy for you. And you don't need that because there's help for you. So speak out, and we can always have coffee time. It's always a blessing to have coffee with other parents. Thank you so much for coming. You are very much appreciated. And thank you for listening to us. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you too.
All right. If there's any questions, if no question, we are going to be rounding up.
I don't have a question, but I want to add to something you said. Have I got the time to do that?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you said about the meltdowns and things like that. One of the things a lot of people don't realize with our children, our special and unique children, is when they don't sleep well, it can set a lot of things out. Only last week, I think Thursday, one of my child everybody would say, oh, it's a trouble, this and that. But he wasn't feeling well on Thursday. He couldn't tell us. So his behavior escalates, starting using the F word. And when he does that, people will say, oh, the dynamics is no good. But we found out yesterday that his temperature is up. He's not feeling well. You see,
and he couldn't express himself. And the only way to express himself was acting out. And then
Yes.
we take offense at that
Yes.
instead of trying to see exactly what's going on.
Yes. Some of
And this
them.
is the social, sorry, man, this is social communication we are talking about. It might be
Yes.
easy for you to say, I have headache, but for them, it might not just be easy to put it
No.
into communication. So
Yes.
for you to understand that, you see that they are behaving out of normal, don't judge, step back, and then try
Observe.
to check.
Observe.
Okay.
Observe. It's not just that they are not. Some of them they haven't opened their bowels. They have tummy. Tummy is hurting.
Mm,
They can explain it to us. They have sleepless nights. Some of them come to school, they haven't had breakfast, they haven't eaten,
mm,
or they are thirsty. You see, the dynamics is so huge.
mm.
So we need to be patient with them. Patient with them.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So much that we need to learn. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Somebody, Faith, wanted to say something.
Yes, hello, good evening, everyone.
Good
God bless
evening.
you, Sister Adesuwa,
Thank
and
you.
everyone that has contributed to this. And I'm very glad and I'm happy that this was brought up for us. And this neurodiversity, I don't think it's just for we as professional and mothers that I have a special need child. I'm also a professional. And it's not for us to know alone. I think, as Adesuwa has already said it, we that is here today, we should try to encourage people for the next one that is going to happen again, to bring people in. And to contribute to what you have said about what can trigger the children. And yes, everything you have said so far is the right thing that can trigger them. And also another thing that can trigger them is environment, change of environment, or if they meet a new people. What I mean by that, if you have any visitor that visited your home, maybe this is weekend now, they visited your home during the weekend, that can trigger them going back to school on Monday. And that is also is very important as we as parents. I know most school, and as for me, even the school, if they are not putting a book in my daughter's bag, I request for it because I want to know what is going on in school. And if I have any issue that happen at home, I will put it down there for them to know. The reason I'm doing that, I don't want them to come back to me and start giving me story, and reason what is not going on against my child. So I think we as parents, we should try to educate ourselves more, because we cannot just wait for the educational departments or the support we are getting out there in the community for them to be telling us what to do. And I believe this meeting of today, Sister Adesuwa have invited more than this of people to attend today, but we'll find out that it's just few of us. I do talk about it as well on my Facebook, my YouTube, but each time I try to talk about it, you see it's just few people there. But if I want to talk about something different, a lot of people will pop in. That is not encouraging. We that is here today, we should not give up on ourselves. We should not give up on our children. We should try to bring people into our, enlighten them on what is going on. So we should also try to create simple and easy communication to use for these children, because sometimes the way we communicate with them can be different to their own understanding. So it is very important that we continue encouraging ourselves in this and try to bring more people in for the next session that will happen again. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. And well done for all you're doing. And if you don't mind, she's a very wonderful mother, but she went ahead and got a degree in that area as a nurse, as a special needs nurse, that's able to now, she's not just helping herself, but God is using her to support many, even as she take care of her child. So yeah, we encourage parents. It is not a death sentence. Don't think because you have a child with additional needs, automatically that is the end of life. No. Turn your lemon into lemonade. Whatever is happening, get more knowledge about it. Don't feel guilty because it happens. Remember, if it happens to you, you have what it takes to be able to walk that journey. So learn more and ask questions. Ask help. Ask for help. Get yourself educated in that area so that you can be an advocate for your own child and for others that cannot speak for themselves. Don't allow it to become your identity. Don't just shut down and don't allow society to ostracize you. If there's anything about me, if you push me down, I'm going to come out from the other side. So if you don't want to smell my, you don't have to push me down. So that is it. Don't allow it to become your identity. Use it to scale up. Work with other people. If at the moment that people don't understand you, don't get offended. Offense is one thing that will take you out easily. People don't know. At the time, I didn't have a clue. When people don't know, they will definitely, it's not in their own to judge it, but we have to understand that people are in different spaces at different times. Don't take that personal. Go to where you will get the knowledge and come back and educate them. Those that want to know, they will know. Those that don't want to know, then go where you can be able to grow as a person, as a parent, and with your child. Find the best environment that your child can thrive. So along this line, this journey, you're going to be having different kind of challenges. Don't get stuck. Don't get offended. Just find a way to thrive and turn it around so you become an advocate for what the enemy wants to use to shut you down. So thank you. I hope this has encouraged us today, and communicate with us, reach out to us. We have a Facebook page. Most of you know me personally. This is what I do in the community. And if you're a parent, you need support, reach out. I connect with social workers, connect with therapists, I don't have all the answers. I am still on my learning. I'm growing on in it, but I tell you, I can signpost you to those that can help you with what you need. And we have a community of mothers as well that we support one another. And if you need a friend, a coffee mate, just give me a shout and we'll have a date. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I appreciate your presence, and let us create more
Sister
awareness.
Adesuwa, sorry, before you leave, I put a message down there. And
okay.
Yes, what I can see that there's one brother among us, and also we that is here today, mothers, because it seems like parents with children with special needs. Mothers are the one that is coming out for this awareness or taking a lot of responsibility to know or to see how to support the children. For the next session, I'm just encouraging everyone to try to also invite our husband, our brothers, our uncle. It doesn't matter if you have anyone that have it in the family, just invite them in, because so that they will have the awareness of it. They might come across anyone that is going through this condition that we are talking about today. God bless you. Have a lovely week.
Thank you so much. That's a very important part. As most of the time, I've come across very wonderful men that have been there, that sit there for their family, and they have gone out of their way to create that strength, to be that pillar that their family will need. But majority of the men are not involved. Please let us encourage our men to be involved. Let us encourage your presence is a strength for your wife, even for the child. The way mother's love is unconditional, but if a father is standing, there is this thing that you cannot, for children, is powerful, because it just makes them feel like we feel with our Heavenly Father, that nothing can happen to me if my father is there. And if both of you are together and you are a united front, there is challenge, even in the social services, you are able to fight better and bring the right solution or the support you need, than being at odds with each other. So let us work together as parents. Men, we invite you. We have Pastor Talks with us. God bless you, sir, for joining. Pastor Peter is here with us as men. Please take this even to the men community. We need our men to be strong. We need our men to be knowledgeable about the situation of those children. Very important. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of us for coming. And yeah, we would like to go on, but we know it's Saturday evening. Tomorrow is church, and we've been busy but I'm so grateful for the turn up. And I pray that the Lord continue to expand us and increase us. And as we are knowing better, we will do better in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you all. I appreciate. Thank you, Ma, Pastor Fisayo, Mommy Jennifer. Thank you all. I appreciate everyone that has come. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. God bless
Bye.
you.
Love you. Thank you.
I will
Bye.
need to join your coffee mornings and the women.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Okay,
I
we
was
will invite
blessed.
you
Thank
to join our couple time. We love that. Thank you.
Good night,
God
everyone.
bless
Thank you,
Good
Ma.
night.
God bless you
Thank
all.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you for
Thank
putting
you,
this
ma. Bye,
together.
ma.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate.
Thank you, everyone. Good
Thank you.
night. I
Bye-bye.
wish you blessed. Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye-bye.